Hello, comic book community. Longbox Love Affair here with another comic book haul. I went to a convention last weekend, and these have been piled up, and I've just been waiting to show them off to you. Before I get into this, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe down below. If you want to get notices when I post videos, which are mostly comic book hauls, but sometimes I do put out some original content, or I just show different books in my collection through the long boxes and the short boxes. Make sure you hit that bell, and you get notices from every time I post something. So welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're a consistent viewer, follower of my channel. I do appreciate that. So we're 3,000 plus subscribers strong, and I appreciate the love, everybody. So I've had a really great time hunting lately. I've been spending a bit of money, and I need to calm that down right now. But I've been hunting on eBay, and that's been really fun, and I can't wait to make a video about some of the things I picked up there because there's been a theme. So more on that soon. But I've also really enjoyed this local convention up in Maryland. And so the way that they worked it, I mean, a lot of the countries in quarantine still are shut down, whatever it might be. And conventions are hard because you're hunting through long boxes. So you need to be masked. And at this particular convention, it was inside a local hotel. And so it was in a ballroom. They had everything sort of spaced out, but sort of like normal. But they only let so many people in. So I made sure I was like maybe ninth in line. I got there by that time. It's about a 40-minute drive for me. And got in there and started hunting. And I had an amazing time. I bought some spec books. I bought some books for the PC. I bought some books that I wanted duplicates of because I can't help myself. I'm a little bit like a hoarder sometimes. Sorry, Alex. But I'm a bit of a hoarder and just want to have multiple copies of things, of characters I love and issues and art that I love. So a prime example of that is this book, Warlock #9. This is not quite the first ongoing series of Warlock, but it's probably the first ongoing that Jim Starlin wrote. And I've read a book about the backstory of Marvel recently, and they're talking about how Jim Starlin got a lot of fan mail from people that were essentially high. LSD was big back then, smoking pot and stuff. So, people loving the Jim Starlin artwork because it's so trippy. And they also admitted that Jim was also high drawing this book, which I don't doubt given everything that's going on in here with Adam Warlock. He has a crazy history. So for $5, I couldn't pass this up. I made out really great with this one dealer, and actually I bought all of these books from him, and then there's other ones I'm going to show you. So I have this book, but this is in really nice condition, and I can't turn down this book when I find it for cheap. And it's really amazing. So it's this book, if you don't know, Warlock, it says a premiere issue, but it's issue #9. It comes right out of Strange Tales, and I think it's, his run starts in Strange Tales 178, I believe, and goes on for several issues, and then when that storyline ends, it goes right into Warlock. So, little factoid for you. 2 books that I've had on my list, but I don't actively look for necessarily, because there's just so much to look for, are Conan. And it's not just any Conan, but 241 and 242. So these are on my list because Todd McFarlane artwork, Jim Lee artwork on the cover. So they're both cover artists. They're cool issues. This was a newsstand. This is not. I've not found these in the wild ever. You see these posted on Instagram or what have you occasionally. But just really cool Jim Lee Red Sonja cover. And then this Conan looks crazy. So I picked these up, and they were like $2 to $5 each, which was really great. And then as what happens often is when you bring things, a large group of books to the table, you often get deals. So that's exactly what happened here. Also on the cheap, I found Superboy Zero, cameo of King Shark, which is getting a little bit of traction lately. So very much a cameo. It's just really the mouth in shadow, all razor sharp and bleeding because he just ate someone, I think. So it's a book I never had. I did have a lot of the 0 Hour books back in '94, I believe, back when I was probably in middle school. So I was glad to pick that one up. Picked up another copy at that same booth of Daredevil and Black Widow 101, or 105, I'm sorry. This is the first time that you get Moondragon as Moondragon, not as Madame McEvil. So she was Madame McEvil before, and then she sort of turns a corner and becomes Moondragon. And there's a Jim Starlin backup story in here. So it's a really cool book, really decent condition. I looked through it, probably mid-grade, but picked it up because anytime I see that for a decent price, I will pick it up. And then I have the first Thor as a frog, but then 365 Thor is where he picks up the hammer and then becomes, in 366, officially the Frog of Thunder, or whatever they want to call him. These are both in great condition. I figured I would pick these up as well. Again, ones that weren't really on my list, but definitely key storyline books for the Thor run. I'm not trying to be a completionist in anything anymore. I completed my ASM, I completed my X-Men, and there's just not enough space. So I'm picking up key storylines, key books, whatever is of interest to me. Like this one, Superman 66, the final issue, Superman Adventures 66. So the animated series, final issue, lower print run, a little bit harder to find. So why not? Why not pick that up? There are a couple unbagged books. So I picked up a Magnus Robot Fighter number 5. Probably very fine plus, near mint minus. It has the cards. It's the flip book to Rai number 1. I loved this book as a kid. It was a key when I bought it. I think I paid 25 or 30 bucks back in the day, which is like $1,000 for a kid. And I just love this storyline. So, and I love the artwork. Don Perlin, or Art Nichols. And this was always scandalous for me as a kid, seeing this in a comic book as a, 10 or 11-year-old, or whenever I picked it up. And then so I got that one for free, and then this one for free, Marvel Tales. This is the first reprint of the Amazing Spider-Man 129, the first appearance of Punisher. Not near mint by any means, but a newsstand, and definitely a book that some people are looking for these days. But, a little bit of a reader copy. Also picked up Spider-Man number 1. I couldn't remember if I have this one or the other number 1. I remember I used to have it. I don't know if I still do. I love Pacelli's artwork in this issue. I think it's an amazingly drawn issue. And since I found it for pretty cheap, I picked it up. Here's another one that's maybe a little bit of a sleeper. Invincible number 19. With the animated series coming out, there are several characters that have a lot of popularity that might be in the series, and this is the first appearance of Battle Beast, which is a supporting character that had a bit of a reoccurring appearance in Invincible. I loved Invincible. I have the whole set. This is a really great run. If you haven't read Invincible, get the trades, read it. It's a super cool storyline by Robert Kirkman. And it's complete. It's all done now. Just for fun, I picked up Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 2. I have number 1. Sometimes number 2s are under-ordered. I'm not sure if that's the issue with this one, but just for the heck of it, I picked it up. Another one that's a bit of a spec. We've all been thinking about the first appearance of Quasar being in Hulk, which is true, but the first appearance of Marvel Boy, which is before he gets called Quasar, is in Captain America 217, and so I picked this up as well. So it was listed at $10. I did not pay $10 for it, but definitely a key newsstand, although it probably doesn't matter for that time period, 1977. Newsstands were more plentiful than comic book stores, I believe, at that time. So first appearance of Marvel Boy, I believe his name is, before he becomes Quasar. And then the last one from that dealer that I decided to pick up another copy of is Savage Dragon 102. This is a preview of Invincible. So you're seeing a little bit of through line with the books I bought. So Invincible preview here. And so this gets credited sometimes with one of his first appearances, if you can call a preview a first appearance. And there are people certainly that do not, but this book does fetch a little bit of money. And it's probably in VF to near mint minus. And another booth. I picked up a couple variants as well as some random stuff. So Battle Lines Venom number 14 Carnage cover. Secret Avengers 6 zombie variant, Amanda Connor variant cover. I've always liked this art, never had it before. Never had this one before. Invincible Iron Man 10. I believe this is this the variant or the regular? I think this is the regular cover. But Rescue, so Pepper Potts becomes Rescue in this issue, I believe. I need to double check on that, but certainly one that people pursue. I bought 2 copies of Near Mint Minus Sleepwalker. They were like $1 each. And then really the book I wanted was on the wall, is this variant cover to Spawn 306, the Gunslinger Spawn. I've always had a thing for the Gunslinger Spawn. I did sell off a lot of my Spawn collection because I needed to make room and I needed some funds in order to buy my Amazing Spider-Man #1. So if I find some Spawn keys, I will continue to pick them up. I continue to read Spawn on a regular basis. This cover by McFarlane is killer. He's one of my top artists that I love. Jim Lee, McFarlane, Silvestri, Larson. I'm a kid of the 90s. This is a cool one. The reason I didn't have this and I had to pay a little bit more money is because of the shutdown. This came out either right before or right after everything shut down, and my store wasn't open. It might even be on the shelf there. I don't think so. I was excited to see it on the wall. I did pay a bit more than I would like, but this book is starting to go a little bananas, so I wanted to pick it up quickly before I couldn't get it anymore. Let's see. I'm going to go after the con. I picked up some books at a LCS for $1 each, and then I'm going to go back to the con to show the books that the big books that I was excited about. So I picked this up for $1. Justice Society of America #1. This has some spec value given the DC fandom stuff that just went on. Jesse Quick, I think it's the first appearance. This is near mint, so for $1, I figured I'd pick it up just for shits and giggles. Frey #1. Joss Whedon. Picked up another copy of Uncanny X-Men #1, first appearance of Gold Balls. And it might be the first appearance of the white Magneto costume. I'm not sure. An early Quasar appearance. We talked about Marvel Boy a second ago. Is Marvel 2-in-1 53. Pick that up. This is a killer cover. Newsstand copy, Marvel 2-in-1 Annual #6. So I thought I saw this, someone had this on Instagram. I was like, that's a cool cover. And then when I saw it in person, I was like, I need to pick it up for $1. It's got some first appearances in that, as well as this one, Marvel 2-in-1 71. So just for fun. And then Sleepwalker #1, the Epic Anthology one. So Epic Anthology #1, Sleepwalker, this is sort of a return to the character. They didn't do anything with it. There's been no Sleepwalker since, to my knowledge. But this does leave the door open for future Sleepy happening. So I think I have a thing for Sleepwalker because it's one of the first main comics I bought. I bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures as a kid, and I bought Sleepwalker #3, which was the first issue that I had access to. #1 was always like, how do I get #1? I didn't know what back issues were back then. So I think Sleepwalker definitely has a special place in my nostalgic heart. So jumping back to the convention, the last dealer I went to, and I said, enough is enough, I need to go home. And let some people that were waiting in the hallway in, because that's the worst. When you're not allowed in the convention because it's so full or filled to the capacity that the organizers have set, and you just have to wait outside and watch everyone else get their books. So I bought 6 books. I was really anticipating just a couple, and then I decided to bite the bullet. Got a good deal because I bought all of these, again, when you buy in bulk. But I've been starting to collect some of the variants to Once and Future. So Once and Future #7, I think this is. This is Jenny Frison variant Virgin cover. Really awesome cover. I saw this at LCS in June when I was down in Florida, and I didn't pick it up, and I wish I did. But I bought it for cover price, or whatever it was in the bundle. And then I figured with Once and Future, with the variants, because there's so many, the one per store would probably be the one to get. So I picked up this retailer incentive book. I saw it at my store when Once and Future came out, but I hadn't read it yet. So I've read up to number 7 or 8 right now. Need to catch up on some other ones. But Once and Future, Virgin cover, not very exciting cover, but architecturally interesting. And it's a story that is I think has some markability, some marketability, some spec, and so forth. So we'll see. And then I bought a set of books that were on the wall. One of them I have, or I had, I don't know if I still have it, I couldn't find it. Venom #1 Kirkham variant. And I can't remember who distributed these. It might have been like a KRS or a Comics Exposure, but I don't always love Kirkham's artwork, so I don't always buy for the artist. I have to love the art produced on that cover, and his run on these Venom books was killer. Not to mention that they are now starting to smoke. You can't even find them. So Venom #1, you got some Spidey on the Venom going on. Venom #2. Another cool one with Carnage, not Venom. This is the one I really wanted. Venom #3. And I love the yellows, the reds in this book. Again, I'm an art guy. I collect for art, I collect for story, I collect for spec. I collect for a lot of different reasons. So this first appearance of Null. So a lot of people are specking on that. I'm not necessarily on the Null train, I have to be honest. But these covers, I got a great deal on them, and it's like, I'm gonna be mad at myself if I don't pick this up. And he did give me a sweet deal. And then #4, which has the cool symbiote spiral head. So I was excited to pick that up with Miles on it. So yeah, really just kind of a cool set of Kirkham variant covers. So those were the ones I was excited about. And I feel like the haul turned out to be a really great one at the con. I left there thinking, wow, I had a lot of fun. And it's not that I talked to a lot of people. I certainly talked to dealers and some other friends that I've made over time. It's just, I was also trying to hustle because I didn't want to stay all day. I never do. I stay like an hour and a half to 2 hours at these cons because it's just one room. But I knew there were people waiting to get in, and I just felt guilty. And I knew how I would have felt, and I just be like, come on, let's go. So I'm a little conscientious about that. But I need to get home. I need to go eat. Didn't want to get hangry. And I had a great stack of books in my backpack to have fun with. And I knew that there were some big time keys coming my way. So you will see in an upcoming video my 2-key day that I had, or 2-key week, I'm sorry. So thank you for watching. I think my favorite are those Venoms, but I love every book I picked up today. I don't think I had much of a miss at all. I really had a great time hunting. Could have hunted more, could have spent more time, but like I said, I wanted to open the door and let other people go. So again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe if you liked what you saw, and look forward to doing more videos. So thanks everybody for watching. All right, take care. Bye-bye.